0. Ole Miss come from behind win against the Texas A&M Aggies. They scored 23 points in the fourth quarter. Shea Patterson, 300-plus, 60-plus on the ground. And Brent Musburger with the Johnny Manziel comparison. Drew, what did you say a couple of segments ago? You were at the game.
Right.
You were at the game, Ole Miss, A&M. What did you say a couple of segments ago?
I'm already tired of the Shea Patterson offseason hype. It's November.
And we haven't even scratched the surface. This lines up well. They're going to play Vandy, Mississippi State, and a slap average team in the bowl game. He has a chance to put up Xbox numbers the next three games against Vandy, MSU, and they'll pull, a crappy team in a bowl game. This could get crazy.
You're talking about a Middle Tennessee State.
Now what if they pull in Akers along with it?
Whoa.
Will Akers go to a team that's going to be put on probation in the offseason?
He's going to have to decide here in about a month, won't he?
From what I understand.
Well, people have been saying it's a done deal for
mouth.
6 months.
Right. They say he will go unless the verdict is still in the air.
Well, the verdict's going to be in the we know that. It's not coming down to the spring.
He's not going.
I don't know.
Doesn't he have to make a decision by next month?
December 12th, 13th, 14th,
He's an early
15th.
enrollee.
He's an early enrollee. Actually, he doesn't. He can actually go into, I think, until you have to go to school, like January 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th.
Ole Miss is like the 25th.
Yeah, it's late. So Georgia, LSU, and Ohio State are sniffing around, but people seem to believe that Ole Miss is the leader in the clubhouse if Kirby Smart, Urban Meyer, and whoever the new coach is at LSU, wherever you want to go with that, whether it's going to be Jimbo Fisher or Ed Ogeron or Tom Herman or another name out there.
Everybody assumes that Tom Herman's going to Texas, but Charlie Strong is such a roller coaster. He didn't have his job, then he had his job, then he didn't have his job, then he had his job. Now he might not have his job again. It's just you don't know what's going to happen there.
What are they? What do you do if you're the Longhorns? And A&M is the sleeping giant of college football, and they just let Mississippi State and Ole Miss beat them. And MSU should have beat them by 4 touchdowns. Yeah. I mean, they left touchdown after touchdown on the field in that game. And Ole Miss scores 23 points on them at home to beat them with a true freshman quarterback in his first start ever, and it's on the road at Kyle Field.
23 in the fourth quarter.
23 points in the fourth quarter with Shea Patterson.
Huh.
What do you do if you're A&M at this point? You've been recruiting well. You've invested $500 million in your program, literally. $450 in the stadium, plus who knows how much in salaries and so on.
If I'm A&M, I sit and I see what happens. If LSU gets Jimbo Fisher and Texas keeps on Charlie Strong, I fire Kevin Sumlin and hire Tom Herman. I play it out and see what happens.
Would they even consider making a move if he goes 8-4?
Oh, they got to.
Hot take.
We got some hot takes going on this morning.
Man.
They have they've got a big win this weekend against UT San Antonio.
That's massive. It's a good team.
Watch out. They did whip up on Southern Miss.
Hey, Southern Miss was a New Year's Six team.
And then they play LSU. Do we know where they play LSU?
In College Station.
Yeah. Okay.
It's on Thanksgiving, I believe.
Yes, it is.
They play LSU in College Station. If they lose that game, they go 8-4.
More importantly, they go 1-3 in the last 3 games.
Oh. Yeah, it's the November collapse with losses to Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and LSU.
You were 6-0 going to Tuscaloosa.
Right.
But what do you are you really he's probably not going to be a college football playoff coach.
Then you make your change now.
But he wins 8+ games a year. So do you continue to let him? And you're going to start a true freshman, according to Luganville, probably at QB next year. You don't win championships unless you're Alabama. starting a true freshman QB.
And you're going to lose Myles
because
Garrett.
they've surrounded him with all these beautiful NFL players that, Jalen Hurts can throw a pick against LSU in the red zone and screw up and fumble and this and that and give themselves 11 possessions to get LSU off the field, and you still win by 2 possessions if you're the University of Alabama. Everybody else would have lost by what, guys?
30.
14-0 or 17-0?
Are we seeing similarities between Sumlin and Martin Rick?
Ooh.
Like it.
Ooh, I like that. We may chew on that for a little while here coming up next. Shea Patterson's going to be a great football player. He's 6 feet, 200 pounds.
Oh, he's 6'2".
I know. Somebody tweeted us that. Drew has stood beside him. Drew has stood right beside him and has told us that he's 6 feet tall.
Drew's not 6 foot.
He is no taller than I am.
Okay.
I'm 6 foot, 6'1.5".
Drew also told us that he could take him. Heads up.
Oh, man. The Rebs were celebrating late Saturday night. We were at Ameristar Casino, and we were watching it with some Ole Miss fans. Those guys were going nuts, and I don't blame them. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. Out of Bounds is brought to you by RPT and Rick's Pro Truck and their Fuel off-road wheels and Pro-Coat spray and bed liners. Coming up next is Sumlin Rick and more, plus Dak did it again.